Today, our topic is the assassination of Mahatma Gandhi. Mohandas Karamchand Gandhi was assassinated on 30 January 1948 at age 78 in the compound of the Birla House, now Gandhi Smriti, a large mansion in central New Delhi. His assassin was Nathuram Godse from Pune, Maharashtra, a Hindu activist. A member of the Rashtriya Swayamsevak Sangh (RSS), a right-wing Hindu paramilitary organization, as well as a member of the Hindu Mahasabha. Sometime after 5 p.m., according to witnesses, Gandhi had reached the top of the steps leading to the raised lawn behind Birla House, where he had been conducting multi-faith prayer meetings every evening. As Gandhi began to walk towards the dais, Godse stepped out from the crowd flanking Gandhi's path and fired three bullets into Gandhi's chest and stomach at point blank range. Gandhi fell to the ground. He was carried back to his home in Birla House, from which a representative emerged sometime later to announce his death. Godse was captured by members of the crowd, the most widely reported of whom was Herbert Rainer Jr., a vice consul at the American Embassy in Delhi, and handed over to the police. The Gandhi murder trial opened in May 1948 in Delhi's historic Red Fort, with Godse the main defendant, and his collaborator Narayan Apte, and six more, deemed co-defendants. The trial was rushed through. The haze sometimes attributed to the Home Minister Vallabhbhai Patel's desire to avoid scrutiny for the failure to prevent the assassination. Godse and Apte were sentenced to death on 8 November 1949, although pleas for commutation were made by Gandhi's two sons, Manilal Gandhi and Ramdas Gandhi. They were turned down by India's Prime Minister Jawaharlal Nehru, Deputy Prime Minister Vallabhbhai Patel, and the Governor General Chakraborty Rajagopalachari. Godse and Apte were hanged in the Ambala jail on 15 November 1949. Preparations of the assassination of Mahatma Gandhi. In May 1944, Nathuram Godse attempted to assassinate Gandhi with a knife. He led a group of 15 to 20 young men who rushed at Gandhi during a prayer meeting at Panchogani. Godse and his group were prevented by the crowds from reaching Gandhi. He was released due to Gandhi's own policy of declining to press criminal charges. In September 1944, Godse again led another group to block Gandhi's passes from Savagram to Mumbai. This time, Godse was arrested with a dagger and he uttered threats to kill Gandhi. He was released again owing to Gandhi's policy of not pressing criminal charges. In early September 1947, Gandhi moved to Delhi to help stem the violent rioting there and in the neighboring provinces of East Punjab. The rioting had come in the wake of the partition of the British Indian Empire, which had accompanied the creation of the new independent dominions of India and Pakistan and involved large chaotic transfers of population between them. Godse and his assassination accomplices were residents of the Deccan region. Godse had previously led a civil disobedience movement against Osman Ali Khan, the Muslim ruler of the princely Deccan region dominion of Hyderabad state in British India. Godse joined a protest march in 1938 in Hyderabad. He was arrested for political crimes and served a prison sentence. Once he was out of prison, Godse continued his civil disobedience and worked as a journalist reporting the sufferings of Hindu refugees escaping from Pakistan and during the various religious riots that erupted in the 1930s. Plans to assassinate Gandhi were initiated by Godse and his accomplices in January 1948 after India and Pakistan had already started a war over Kashmir. Due to Godse's disagreement with Gandhi's philosophy of non-violence towards Muslims, but Gandhi opposed the decision and went on a fast unto death on 13 January 1948 to pressure the Indian government to release the payment to Pakistan. The Indian government, yielding to Gandhi, reversed its decision. Godse and his colleagues interpreted these consequences of events to be a case of Mahatma Gandhi controlling power and hurting India. On the day Gandhi went on hunger strike, Godse and his colleagues began planning how to assassinate Gandhi. Nathuram Godse and Narayan Apte purchased a Beretta M1934. Along with purchasing the pistol, Godse and his accomplices shadowed Gandhi's movements. Assassination attempt on 20 January 1948. Gandhi had initially been staying at the Balmiki temple near Gole market in the northern part of New Delhi and was holding his prayer meetings there. When the temple was requisitioned for sheltering refugees of the partition, he moved to Birla House. He moved to Birla House, a large mansion on what was then Albukar Road in south central New Delhi, not far from the diplomatic enclave. Gandhi was living in two apprentices' rooms in the left wing of Birla House and conducting prayer meetings on a raised lawn behind the mansion. The first attempt to assassinate Gandhi at Birla House occurred on 20 January 1948. According to Stanley Allport, Nathuram Godse and his colleagues followed Gandhi to a park where he was speaking. One of them threw a grenade away from the crowd. The loud explosion scared the crowd, creating a chaotic stampede of people. Gandhi was left alone on the speaker's platform. The original assassination plan was to throw a second grenade after the crowds had run away at the isolated Gandhi. But the alleged accomplice Digambor Baz lost his courage, did not throw the second grenade, and ran away with the crowd. All of the assassination plotters ran away except Madan Lal Pasha, who was a Punjabi refugee of the partition of India. He was arrested. 30 January 1948. Manuben Gandhi. Manu or Mridula Gandhi, called Manuben in Gujarati fashion, was Mahatma Gandhi's great niece, more precisely a first cousin twice removed. She had come to join Gandhi's entourage during his peace mission to Noakhali in East Bengal, which had been gripped by communal violence. Abha Chatterjee, Abha Ben Chatterjee was a girl adopted by the Gandhis who would later marry Gandhi's nephew, Kanu Gandhi. Both young women were working with Gandhi when he was assassinated. According to Last Glimpses of Bapu, a memoir by Manuben Gandhi published in 1962, Mahatma Gandhi or Bapu started the day in Birla House by listening to a recitation of the Bhagavad Gita. He then worked on a Congress constitution he wanted to publish in the Horizon, had his bath and massage at 8 a.m., and reprimanded Manuben to take care of herself since her health was not what it should be for an 18-year-old. Gandhi, aged 78, was weighed after his bath and was 109.5 pounds, that means 49.7 kg. He then ate lunch with Pierre discussing Noakhali riots. After lunch, states Manuben Gandhi napped. After waking up, he had a meeting with Sardar Dada. Two Kathiawar leaders wanted to meet him, and when Manuben informed Gandhi that they wanted to meet him, Gandhi replied, "Tell them that if I remain alive, they can talk to me after the prayer on my wall." According to Manuben's memoir, the meeting between Vallabhbhai Patel and Gandhi went past the scheduled time, and Gandhi was about 10 minutes late to the prayer meeting. He began his walk to the prayer location by walking with Manuben to his right and Abha to his left, holding onto them as walking sticks. A stout young man in khaki dress, wrote Manuben, pushed his way through the crowd, bent over and with his hands folded. Manuben thought that this man wanted to touch Gandhi's feet. She pushed the man aside, saying, "Bapu is already 10 minutes late. Why do you embarrass him? Godse pushed her aside so forcibly that she lost her balance, and the rosary, notebook, and Gandhi's spiton she was carrying fell out of her hands. She recalled that as she bent to the ground to pick up the item, she heard four shots, resounding booms. She saw smoke everywhere. Gandhi's hands were folded, saying, Hey Ram, Hey Ram. Abhaben wrote Manuben had also fallen down and she saw the assassinated Gandhi in Abhaben's lap. The pistol shots had defiant her, wrote Manuben. The smoke was very thick and the incident complete within 3 to 4 minutes. A crowd of people rushed towards them, according to Manuben. The watch she was carrying showed 5:17 p.m. and blood was everywhere on their white clothes. Manuban estimated that it took about 10 minutes to carry Gandhi back into the house, and no doctor was available in the meanwhile. They only had a first aid box, but there was no medicine in it for treating Gandhi's wounds, according to Manuban. The first bullet from the assassin's 7-bore automatic hit the belly 3.5 inches into the right of the middle and 2.5 inches above the navel. The second hit the belly 1 inch away from the middle and the third 4 inches away to the right. Gandhi had suffered profuse blood loss. Everyone was crying loudly. In the house, Bhai Sahib had phoned the hospital many times but was unable to reach any help. He then went to Wellington Hospital in person but came back disappointed. Manuben and others read the Bhagavad Gita as Gandhi's body lay in the room. Colonel Bhargava arrived and he pronounced Gandhi dead. And that's simply in brief about the assassination of dearest leader Mahatma Gandhi. And there has been lot of tributes after the death of Mahatma Gandhi. There are a lot of motives behind the death, but today we will just read about how the judge commented on the death of on the assassination of Gandhiji. The government of India made the assassination trial public according to Cloud Marcotips. Godse tried to use the courtroom as a political forum by reading a long declaration in which he tried to justify his crime. He accused Gandhi of complacency towards Muslims, blamed him for the sufferings of partition, and generally criticized his subjectivism and pretension to a monopoly of the truth. Although his attacks were met with some echo in high caste Hindu circles traditionally hostile to Gandhi, he could not create a groundswell of opinion in his favor. Godse later appealed the death sentence verdict in the appeals court in Simla, then in Punjab. He made a plea of poverty and requested that he be allowed to appear and defend himself in person. As the request was allowed, Godse became the only accused to appear in person at the appeal. G.D. Khosla, one of the three judges who heard the appeal, later wrote of the Godse statement. The audience was visibly and audibly moved. There was a deep silence when he ceased speaking. Many women were in tears and men were coughing and searching for their handkerchiefs. The silence was accentuated and made deeper by the sound of an occasional subdued sniff or a muffled cough. It seemed to me that I was taking part in some kind of melodrama or a scene out of a Hollywood feature film. The audience most certainly thought Godse's performance was the only worthwhile part of the lengthy proceedings. I have no doubt that had the audience of that day been constituted into a jury and entrusted with the task of deciding Godse's appeal, they would have brought a verdict of not guilty by an overwhelming majority. After the assassination, Prime Minister Jawaharlal Nehru addressed the nation by radio. Friends and comrades, the light has gone out of our lives, and there is darkness everywhere, and I do not quite know what to tell you or how to say it. Our beloved leader Bapu, as we called him, the father of the nation, is no more. Perhaps I am wrong to say that, nevertheless, we will not see him again as we have seen him for these many years. We will not run to him for advice or seek solace from him. And that is a terrible blow, not only for me, but for millions and millions in this country. Muhammad Ali Jinnah, Governor General of and founder of Pakistan on the day of Gandhi's assassination, said, I am shocked to learn of the most dastardly attack on the life of Mr. Gandhi, resulting in his death. Whatever our political differences, he was one of the greatest men produced by the Hindu community and a leader who commanded their universal confidence and respect. I wish to express my deep sorrow and sincerely sympathize with the great Hindu community and his family in their bereavement at this momentous, historical, and critical juncture so soon after the birth of freedom for Hindustan and Pakistan. The loss of dominion of India is irreparable, and it will be very difficult to fill the vacuum created by the passing away of such a great man at this moment. Gandhi's death was mourned around the world. Field Marshal John Smart's former Prime Minister of South Africa once once Gandhi's adversary said, Gandhi was one of the great men of my time, and my acquaintance with him over a period of more than 30 years has only deepened my high respect for him. However much we differed in our views and methods, a prince among men has passed away, and we grieve with India in her irreparable loss. The British Prime Minister Clement Attlee said in a radio address to the nation on the night of January 30, 1948. Everyone will have learned with profound horror of the brutal murder of Mr. Gandhi, and I know that I am expressing the views of the British people in offering to his fellow countrymen our deep sympathy in the loss of their greatest citizen. Mahatma Gandhi, as he was known in India, was one of the outstanding figures in the world today for a quarter of a century. This was this one man has been the major factor in every consideration of the Indian Indian country of the Indian problem. And there are many people who paid lot of tributes. But lastly, I'd like to quote Albert Einstein, who paid tribute to Mahatma Gandhi, saying, he died as the victim of his own principles, the principles of non-violence. He died because, in time of disorder and general irritation in his country, he refused armed protection for himself. It was his unshakable belief that the use of force is an evil in itself, that therefore it must be avoided by those who are striving to supreme justice to his belief. With his belief in his heart and mind, he has led a great nation on to its liberation. He has demonstrated that a powerful human following can be assembled on not only through the cunning game of the usual political maneuvers and trickery, but through the cogent example of a morally superior conduct of life. The admiration for Mahatma Gandhi in all countries of the world rests on that recognition. However, over 2 million people joined the 5 mile long funeral procession that took over 5 hours to reach Rajghat from Birla House, where he had been assassinated. Gandhi was cremated in a funeral pyre. And that's all simply about the assassination of Mahatma Gandhi. And I hope, lastly, I would like to tell you one thing, that just don't only depend on Facebook or YouTube. Just gather some textbook, original textbook, and read about Mahatma Gandhi more and more. And if you read continuously, if you study continuously on the lives of Mahatma Gandhi, I think you will be a superman, or at least you will try, you will comfort yourself saying that you have read about the life of a superman like Mahatma Gandhi, the father of the freedom of Indian independence. Last of all, thank you very much for your patient hearing. Thank you. Bye bye.